Yo, dudes, it's Dokkan time again. And we're going to be doing a details and hidden potential, couple things in general for the... I'm not really sure what everyone's, nickname for these guys are. Is it Evoken? I personally call them Physical Blue Boys. But basically it's the Super Saiyan God Kaioken Goku and Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan Evolved Vegeta. A freaking mouthful. So, this is possibly one of the most busted EZAs in the game. I don't know what happened, but at some point last year, the yellow coin LR EZAs, LR EZAs in general, just all of a sudden started getting good. Like, I do mean good. Like, really good. I was afraid that they would suffer from the physical curse that we felt with like physical Vegito, Super Vegito, and a couple other units that were physical that just got the worst possible EZAs of all time. But at some point, all of a sudden, they were just like, okay, we'll make LR EZAs good. You know, we have to make them good, right? So, but anyways, so they are a desperate struggle. Joined forces 170 lead now after EZAing. They still greatly raise defense on Super. But now they actually they lower attack and defense, and then on their 18 key they massively raise their attack and defense and greatly lower enemy attack and defense. This is very good. It helps out a lot in a lot of areas of content. The massively raise is 100% increase. That's a huge difference on their defense. We'll go over Halvard's calculations in a minute. But it's honestly, it's really this. The greatly lowering attack and defense is absurdly good. There is a large portion of content in the game that is challenging content, end-game content, that allows you to lower attack and defense, attack or defense, and or defense. So they're a very good unit to bring along for a lot of challenging content just on that alone. But anyways, let's move on to their passive. Key +4. 170% attack and defense. They randomly change key spheres into rainbow when there is another superhero ally on the team. They have an additional 7% attack and defense per key sphere obtained. They get another 7% chance to crit. They get another 7% damage reduction, and guaranteed additional with a high chance for it, a 50% chance for it to be a super attack 3 times per turn per rainbow key sphere obtained. Now, the only part about this part of the passive that I do not know is this part right here. The max 3 attacks per turn. So I think this is only implying of the super attack, meaning that just because you get 4 rainbow key spheres doesn't mean you're going to get 4 extra supers. No, you only get 3 on that. But I don't think that applies to the 7% crit and damage reduction, which means that if you get 4 rainbow key spheres, you'll have a total of 7, 14, 21, 28 damage reduction and 28% chance to critical. So there is that to keep that in mind. I think you can get a maximum of 5 or 6 rainbow key spheres if the field was flooded with rainbow key spheres. I would presume, always presume in fact, they are always going to be under about 3, maximum of 4 rainbow key spheres. Maximum of 4. I would say the average will be 2 to 3. It really highly depends on how the orbs change. It depends on other orb changers on your team. But I would always pretty much assume 14% crit and damage reduction at the least. And then at best 21% crit and damage reduction. And the absolute best possible situation of getting up to a 28% I don't know how to speak. 28% chance to critical or damage reduction. Anyways, they also get plus an additional key +2 per key sphere obtained, and also an additional attack and defense of 70% with 18 key or more. And they perform a crit at 24 key, and then once only damage reduced by 70% when HP is 50% or lower. So with that in mind, this is a very key part of their passive. I gotta say, it's a very key part. if you hit 50% or lower turn 1, you better make sure you regain that HP by the next time you come around. Because usually how these work, how this part of the passives works, is once you hit that, and then it hits start a turn. So if the turn prior, let's say it's turn 1, you went down to 50%, and it goes over to turn 2 on the second rotation. The second rotation of if Evo Blue or Blue Boys are on the second rotation, that means that you're going to proc that. You're going to proc that 70% damage reduction. So you got to be really careful about your HP. Keep an eye on it. Really try to math it out a little bit. This could be used strategically. If you use this strategically with their active skill, which gives ki plus 24, attack plus 70%, and defense minus 50% for 1 turn, it can be activated when your HP is 50% or less. So basically, you'll know you can activate your active when you have hit 50% or lower right here. There is no turn restriction here, but, you know, you got to keep track of it, because honestly, this is literally, this 50% right here, that's literally half of your defense. That's half your defense. So we're going to go and look at his calculations defensively. And then you'll be able to get an idea of what his defense will look like after using the active. So compliments of Halberd. Without support, with 6 key spheres, your start of turn defense is 234. With 6 key spheres. So that's an average kind of amount of key spheres. I wouldn't say that you're going to go over that all the time. I would say that's kind of a medium ground. On the worst case scenario, you get lower than that, it probably won't matter too much. There is one thing before we keep going with this. The additionals you're getting are only at 50% chance. I've done a little bit of testing. I haven't done a huge amount. I've done a couple fights. I've done like 3 or 4. That 50% chance hurts a lot. RNG can be very terrible to you. You can penta super with your hidden potential. So yeah, you'll get your 18 key. You'll pretty much always get that first super off. That's great. And then hidden potential, you know, you'll probably average, no matter what, you'll get 2 supers in. But thus far, there's been, out of those like 3 or 4 times, I'm pretty sure it was 4 times. I'm trying to like remember the fights and how they went. I'm pretty sure it was only 3 times. Out of those 3 times, there was one time where I literally only had my 18 key, and then that was it. And then freaking, I got no additionals. It was all just normal. And it was painful because I got supered right after that. I'm pretty sure it was against Frieza. And Frieza has like a dang near the new Red Sword stage. And the 1 million damage came through. 1 million damage came through because I only had the 1 super. And with the 1 super, I mean, I'm at 800k defense, which is just not enough. I might have had some damage reduction, but if you got a 2 million super coming at you, you're dead. You're dead. So it's really kind of an RNG here, but if you actually manage to get at least 2 supers, 2 or 3 additionals off, then you're sitting pretty at 1 million defense. I think you're sitting pretty good. And obviously, the more key spheres you get, the higher your defense will be. So, there is no reason to give them crit. You're pretty much always going to be at 24 key. I did not have a single turn where I wasn't at 24 key. That's not even a joke. Usually, when a unit has the ability to auto crit or attacks effective against all types on 24 key, anytime there's a unit that has on 24 key, you're usually stuck building up, or they don't have enough key generation. That doesn't happen here. These guys, you're always hitting 24 key if you have the right set of units with them, if they're on the right team. They're always hitting 24 key. So if you have crit with these guys, you're going to need to change their build. You're going to need to change their build because you're auto-critting basically at all times. And I've noticed that with a lot of EZAs and newer units within the last 6 months. The devs are giving units crit pretty much all the time right now. And It's good because it means you can focus on one area, and that one area should be additional, primarily additional. Because as long as you're getting your additionals off, you're getting your actual super attacks off, defensively they're fine, especially with the damage reduction. So you should be pretty much safe as long as you're getting the, as long as you're getting RNGesus on your side and not getting screwed on that 1 in a billion chance of, you know, you only get one super off. But anyways, max possible defense 1.8. You'll probably never hit that. You'll probably never hit 1.8. That's a penta super right there. Penta super is just very unlikely. You're probably more likely to get 3 to 4. I think a lot of people will average 3 to 4 supers. And I think on those crazy turns where you'll see people clip it and pop it up on Twitter or something, or a YouTube short, you know, some people will throw those out, but penta super is not going to be all the time. It's not going to happen that often. It's not. You'll average 2 or 3 supers. Doubles and triples, I think those will be normal. On that case, then yeah, you can averagely think about these units having post-super 1.1 million defense with like almost 20 to 30% damage reduction. Pretty safe for the most part. But anyways, I think that's about it for as far as the how to build goes. If you want to know what the weakness is for the EZA, it's Realm of Gods. Realm of Gods is the weakness for this fight. They are an STR type. They are an LR. So when you're going into this, whenever this EZA releases, when does this EZA release? When is it? On the 11th, which is tomorrow, or tonight at midnight, specifically at the time of this recording. So tonight, that will be what you need to aim for. Realm of Gods, LRs. I would probably focus up on, you know, you got your free-to-play Vegeta Blue, you got Blue Fusion Gogeta, you got the I mean, if you have Omen Goku, there you go. That he'll carry the entire team. LR Beerus. These aren't gonna. I mean, Beerus isn't gonna link up well, but I mean, you're gonna mow through this. People are gonna mow through this fight. Realm of Gods. People start this game for Realm of Gods. I don't imagine too many players are gonna have any issue with this EZA fight. It'll be very easy for most people. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Good luck with grinding for this EZA, and have a good day and a good night.